Hi, everybody. Put my teacher's picture here so you can see. Come on into the classroom. Hi, everybody. Look who's coming in. So many people. Forgot my lip gloss. Mejor. Hi everybody, I'm Manorama and good morning. Good morning Nelly. Good morning everybody. I want to welcome you here today. My name is Manorama and it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. So I send you my love. I'm here in my Upper West Side New York apartment. Namaste. Can't see. Hope your travel back from Dallas was comfortable. I got delayed and they kept us on the plane, but in the end it was all fine because Dallas has a little spa where you can get your toes rubbed. That was really nice. And I'm a seasoned traveler. I just get ready to soften and listen to whatever the universe wants. Thanks for asking. So I want to welcome you all here today. Today is a very special day for me because today is what's called the Maha Samadhi of my teacher, who I call Guruji. It's the Maha Samadhi. Do you know what Maha Samadhi means? Maha is great and Samadhi is the absorption. And in yogic practice, grab my board here in case I need it. In yogic practice, absorption is in the light of the self, but in this context it means like exiting the form and the great absorption. And my teacher took flight 23 years ago on this day, and I was just a wee sprig of a lad. Or a lass, I should say. Where did my pen go? Having a little... here it is. The pen is here. Special pen for the board. So let me write this down. Maha Samadhi. Maha Samadhi. Okay, so Maha Samadhi. The Samadhi means it's the last leg of the Ashtanga Yoga path, or the last limb, but here in this context it means the absorption when we exit our form. And this was this holy day when he took flight from the earthly realm. And my teacher's formal name I'll write down for those of you who haven't seen it before, and even for those of you who have, it's nice to kind of see a little bit of the etymology. So his name is Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati. Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati. I call him Guruji. You would call him Parama Guruji if you took him on in that way through the lineage of myself. Shri is honorific. It just means beloved or respected. Brahma is limitless reality. Ananda is the bliss. When you put them together, you have the bliss of limitless reality, right? And then Saraswati is part of the lineage. And there's actually a word that gets tacked onto his name that very few people know. And I'll write it here. And that is the last word, which is Udasina. Udasina. You'll see this in some Gita verses, but it's Udasina. Good. Udasina is neutrality, and he was talking a lot about this in his lineage right before he passed, the last year of his life. So his name literally is Shri, which is respected, Brahmananda, the bliss of Brahman. Sarasvati is the lineage. She is the goddess. I have a murti of her here. Where is she? Here she is as a murti of Sarasvati. She has a veena. She represents the goddess of creativity, learning, speech, art, music. So you can see how he was very much devoted to this in his love of the language Sanskrita, right? So he was given this sannyas name, and he became what's called a traditional guru. How do I spell her name? Just like the last name here, except put a W instead of a V. Saraswati. A lot of times people call her Saraswati, and I tease and I say if you have to swat her out of the way, she's not pronounced correctly. Saraswati. Saraswati. Good. That which is the auspicious flow of wisdom and creativity. So he was a brain surgeon, an ophthalmologist, a psychiatrist, and he loved Sanskrita. And he was voracious for yogic knowledge, and really was one of the top yogis that came to the United States in the 40s and 50s and brought yoga to the West. In his case, it was the 50s, 60s, but there was a whole group of yogis that came at different times, and they brought yoga from the East to the West, beginning with Swami Vivekananda back in, I think, the 20s. I can't remember, the 10s or the 20s of the 1900s. In any event, his life was incredible. He was... he said his father always said that he wanted him to be the Prime Minister of India, but my teacher used to say he wanted to help rid the world of suffering, so he became a doctor. And then he realized that the real suffering is to believe that we are something that we are not. And so he gave up being a medical doctor, and he was practicing yoga and started teaching yoga in India, and then in New York, and then around the world. And he founded 2 ashrams and has written many commentaries and many books on several Sanskrit texts, as well as his own books of a synthesis of ideas. He was referred to as the East-West Guru. His first name was Ramamurti, the form of Rama. Ramamurti S. Shri Ram Mishra. So Ramamurti S. Mishra, or R.S. Mishra, M.D. He was a doctor. And he was from UP in India, Uttar Pradesh. And, excuse me with this cough. And he was somebody who was, like, you know how they say they broke the mold? When you met my teacher, you really felt like there was nobody on earth like him. He was truly kind, loving, fierce, incredibly intelligent, funny as hell. I mean, God, he was so funny. He used to tell so many funny jokes. He loved all the jokes about the Mullah Nasruddin and all the spiritual humor. He loved the Zen Buddhists. He was famous for being inclusive. He would bring all the teachings together. So he was like, the Muslims can come, and the Christians can come, and the Jewish people can come, and the Quakers and the Sufis can whirl around. And he said he just loved everybody. He let the politicians come on July 4th and make their, sort of statements about politics. And he wanted a place that was really open and that included everybody. And so he created that some years ago. Then he said that he realized that the real harmony has to be within you. And it's funny because there's a General Assembly happening this week in New York for the countries around the world at the United Nations. And it reminded me of something my teacher said so many moons ago. He said, the UN has been trying to make peace for so many years. And they cannot force peace. We can't force peace. We have to be peaceful ourselves. he used to say we have to be peaceful ourselves, and when we are peaceful, then we draw that prana, that energy towards us, and we become peaceful. We become like a moving ashram and a moving heaven. He was a remarkable human being, incredibly kind, very generous, and incredibly fierce, single-pointedly devoted to yogic practice, and very loving. Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati. And today we mark his Maha Samadhi, his 23rd Maha Samadhi. 23 years ago, after serving him for, I don't know how many years, 11, 12 years, he took flight. I had been with him. I was one of his personal assistants. I shared a rare blessing in being able to serve him as he served the world. And I'm deeply humble and am always incredibly grateful for the magical time that I had the opportunity to spend with him on a physical level, and to have him share in these incredible teachings that truly changed my life and now have changed so many of yours. So do you have any questions today about Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati? Any questions? Who was his guru? Good question. His teacher was an avatara from India, and his name is Baba Bhagavan Das Bodhisattva. I have a picture of him, but it's in the other room. Baba Bhagavan Das Bodhisattva. Let me see if I can take you in there. You can see a picture of him. It's a special day. Why not? I don't know how to flip the camera, but we'll see if we can do it. I'm going to just turn the camera. This is Babaji, Baba Bhagavan Das Bodhisattva. Were you able to see it? I can't see because I had to just flip the camera. You were able to see it? Good. Yay! That's in the other room. You get to have a little travel with me. So his guru was an avatara, and we should do a whole program on him, and we will at some point. But his name is Baba Bhagavan Das Bodhisattva. He was an avatara. He was a man of miracles. He cared greatly about the people, and he was and remains, both of them remain incredible lights, incredible spiritual lights. And when Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati met Babaji, there's a famous story. He didn't want to go. He was a doctor at the time. Thank you for making my day. Love, Miriam. Oh, hi, Mary. How are you, darling? You're welcome. So there's a famous story. Dr. Mishra, my teacher, the picture of him here is there. He had a patient who had tuberculosis, and the patient he got well under Dr. Mishra's care, and it was very strange. How did he get well? You know, like people with this problem didn't get well, and he had no money to pay Dr. Mishra, but he said, that's okay, you know, don't worry about it. And oftentimes in India, when people repay you, he said in those days especially, they would repay you with like things. They would give you something. So this man said, I want to thank you so much for helping me get well, and I want to take you to meet a holy man. Well, Dr. Mishra at the time was like, yeah, I've met plenty of holy men, because I don't know if you know India, but in India there's like somebody on every corner claiming to be a holy man or woman. So he kept saying no to the man, but the man kept coming, and he kept saying, no, I really want you to meet this sage. And no, thank you. I've met enough sages in my day. And then finally, the third time he came, and Dr. Mishra said, okay, let us go right now. So they went to meet the holy man. And Dr. Mishra plucked a flower out of the man's own garden, which was in front of his kutir, his place. And it's a famous story, and he went and he sort of saluted the man. And in India in 1950, or I think it was 50, I don't remember the exact year, but 50 something, early 50s or late 40s, for him to salute a great sage is like unheard of. It's like, there you go, there's your flower from your own garden. You know, it's really arrogant, really, really, really rude. By Indian standards, you would touch the feet. You know, you would bring some special offering of fruit or flowers or something like that, fresh flowers, right? It's kind of rude to pick flowers out of someone's own garden. And he went there and he sat there in Babaji's kutir with all the other people, and Baba Bhagavan Das, my Padma Guru, he said, does anybody have any questions? Dr. Mishra raised his hand and he's like, yeah, I got a question. And he said, who are you? To the Babaji at the time. And the Babaji recounted Dr. Mishra's entire life to him. Really personal details, meaningful details. Dr. Mishra said that every life has these things that are so meaningful, so important, that nobody can know what they are. And for somebody to know them or to pull them out of thin air is like incredible. And it left him very sort of wide-eyed, like he was recounting his story to him. Babaji was recounting Dr. Mishra's story, but saying it was his own. So Dr. Mishra then said to the Babaji, excuse me, sir, are you sure this is your story? And the Babaji said, well, if I tell you some other story, you'll have to rely on faith and belief. This way you can corroborate the truth. And at that point, the satsang ended and he sent him on his way, and he was sort of like confounded, and Dr. Mishra kept going back whenever he had time, and then he asked if he could have a private audience with the Babaji, and then their individual sessions began, and they were very meaningful, and they changed the course of his life. And then he came to the United States later, as I told you. So, but he was an avatara. He was known to, avataras are real, they're incarnated enlightened. The way they say it is they're born enlightened. They've already finished all the karmas in previous births, and they take reincarnation for the sake of the world. People like the Christ, Satya Sai Baba, Harikam Baba, Neem Karoli Baba, who was Shri Krishna Das's Guruji. So that is a little something about Babaji. And he is a man of miracles, and when you go to his ashram, the people love to tell you of the miracles of Baba, so it's very sweet. And he was famous for, like, if somebody was sick, he would then like hit them like really sharply, like with a stick. Let's say they had like cancer on the arm, they would hit them and then the cancer would go away. They wouldn't hit them so hard, but like, not abusive, but like whack, like once, and then suddenly the cancer was gone. They had all these miracles that the people were telling me when I was there, and I was so touched. And of course that brings the feeling of the sage, or the bhav, which is part of what we're doing today, is we're invoking stories about Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati, and then we have the bhav of his light and his energy. And it's funny now, I see his work in so many people in so many ways, in the international yoga community and in the yoga world at large. Certainly in the context of Sanskrit, he was very devoted to the subject, and the subject of yoga philosophy as well. Any other questions? Let's then have just a few minutes of silence. We're going to chant let's chant the Guru Mantra together. I believe you know this. If you don't, you can just listen along. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Om. We can chant this together. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. The Guru is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. The Guru is the supreme light, the witness itself. We extend our respect to that Guru. Om. Close your eyes. Meditate on the light of the great sages, and today especially in the light of Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati. Extend your gratitude and your respect and your love. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Om. We extend our love and respect. Bring your palms together in front of your heart and bow your head. We all say Namo Namah. Jai Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati Maharaj. Great sage. And if you would like, here's Gandhi visiting. If you'd like, you can actually take a candle. If you'd like to participate, you can put out fresh flowers. So this morning I went out and got fresh flowers. And I just wanted yellow because it's been raining, and you could have red or white. Any flower that you like is nice. And you take the tea light, a fresh tea light, put it in. You can put it on a flat dish, which is a little easier, but I happen to have these, and I like the way the light reflects out of them. Come on, Gandhi. And you can turn towards the candle, and I'm going to be slightly angled in a funny way so that you can see the candle, but I would normally put my entire body right in front of it. And you could take the picture of the teacher, and you see how my hand is like this, and you just engage. Watch. So let's say you don't know many mantras. You can start with just your reverence and shanti, which is very nice. You go clockwise. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Om. And then you take the candle in your left hand and you push the light towards the photo, and then you take the light and then you can put it back down. But if you know more elaborate mantras, then you can, for example, if you know the Guru mantra or you want to practice saying that, it's always a lovely thing to do to actually take this and chant the Guru mantra 3 times. And then you wave the light 3 times. Actually, sorry, with your right hand. What am I doing? And then hold. And then you, after you're done, and then you sit quietly. You thank the energy. So it's not that the person is there, but it's that respect, you know. And you can also do this for some of the people in your lives that have great meaning. Obviously not today. Today is an honoring day for Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati, but let's say that I'm full of blessings, you are full of blessings. But let's say it's a day of your grandma's incarnation day, or your mother or your father or somebody that's very dear to you, your sweetheart. You know, you can always do the same. You can perform the arati and wave the light. And today is a special day, so my house is decked out with flowers. And of course, in the moment when my teacher passed, I feel so honored and blessed to be your student and for the lineage behind your teachings. Thank you, Melanie. That's so loving. Thank you so much. I'm touched. And all these beautiful hearts from everybody. Thank you. But what you can do is you can, you know, it's a chance to reflect and to pause and to just be thankful. You know, so much is moving and shaking in this modern world, and I appreciate the moving and shaking. We're not against it, but something simple, something present is also nice. Just being here, and you know, you can read a simple passage from one of his books. You may not understand all of it, but it's the attempt to try to grasp it. You can place flowers around, and you can just feel that reverence in your heart. It's so meaningful. And be grateful that the presence of the great sages have entered your lives. So, like, I didn't formally meet Baba Bhagavandas Bodhisattva, but I have met him in my heart, and I have been so, so blessed to have his energy and his prana and his influence in my life. So that's it, everybody. Gandhi, you want to say goodbye to everybody? Gandhi's here, and he's doing his little thing. He's a little sage himself. You're a little sage, Gandhi. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful day. In the tradition, we celebrate the passing of our teacher. Not that we don't recognize the loss, but once that gets processed, you know, we're really in celebration that that in his case it's a he, that he took flight, that he exited his form, and we're so grateful for his presence in our lives. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much, Manorama. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Be blessed. I hope you have a beautiful day and celebrate and enjoy. And it's the beginning of a week for you, so enjoy. Say bye, Gandhi. Bye, Gandhi. This is Sage Gandhi. I love you all. Remember, you are beautiful, powerful, and free. You are a luminous soul, and Guruji would be the first to tell you. Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati Maharaj Ki Jai. Be blessed, everybody.